If there is a slight possibility that we could get Alexander Usyk against Tyson Fury December 17th in Saudi Arabia, I would happily take that over having to wait about another 8 months to then maybe stage the fight in Wembley over here in the UK. Boxing's main problem is inactivity. In a recent interview, Michael Buffer simply said that fighters need to fight more often. Naturally, it got a lot of positive responses, and you'd have to say Alexander Usyk has enough time here to heal up, go straight back into a training camp, and get this mega fight on the go before he turns 36. Yes, I know a lot of people are not very high on the idea of another Saudi heavyweight fight. There isn't a lot of atmosphere. Boxing isn't in the culture of Saudi Arabia. I think one of the young princes there at the moment is trying to make it more of a hotbed for sport, commerce, going there on holiday, but it's not in their blood, certainly not like England. So you don't have that connection between spectator and fighter. Forgetting booze for the moment that you can't drink there, I'm just saying they don't get it on that deep level. But again, if it means we get the fight quicker, I will happily take that sacrifice. And if we're to believe these little snippets we're getting of news, which of course might be just trying to capitalize on the fallout of Usyk Joshua, trying to ride that wave of what's trending, well then we may already have a 50-50 split agreed between Usyk and Fury. Maybe they both know they're going to get paid super handsomely. Let's not fuss too much. Let's get it on, because Fury's not getting any younger either. And he may feel that he could just simply mug this, to use his own phrase, unknown foreigner. Now, regarding the fight itself, even more so than Usyk against Joshua, this really is David v Goliath. Most people know Tyson Fury is a much larger man, that he will try and use that size to spoil, to rough up the Ukrainian, to do what's necessary if certain things aren't working. With Joshua, even in that rematch, though he did do better, he still always fights with that little bit of maintenance, that kind of self-conscious energy he has, where he's always wondering about his stamina. He's not sure about his positioning. He's second-guessing before he's throwing. Fury doesn't have that. He's much more instinctual. He will try and get things really done if the basic boxing doesn't work. Or he might just go straight into being aggressive from the first bell and really try and tire Usyk out. I'm aware of quite a few people whose opinions I do respect, who just feel Fury is the anti-Usyk device, that he's going to be able to lean on him, throw the big shots, and basically make it into such a physical fight, he won't have enough of the raw power and strength himself to do much about it. He'll just smother all those technical skills, turn it into a bit of a caveman fest, and just win out with his natural gifts. However, two of the things I really noticed in the rematch against Joshua was Usyk's chin and his physical strength. Not once did his knees buckle despite eating some pretty good right hands. And in the last round, he actually pushes Joshua off him to get back to boxing. This guy has more horsepower, more steel in him, I think, than we were giving him credit for. Because it's got this narrative, because he's come up from cruiserweight, we expect this weaker guy. But he is real tough, Usyk. He's known for his skills, the light feet, but the more we see of him, particularly at heavyweight, against a big power puncher like Joshua, he looked very sturdy. Still, Fury being the naturally bigger, possibly more rugged individual, is what will be driving a lot of people to pick the Gypsy King. And I think another kind of subconscious reason why people will believe this is to do with recent history. Giants have ruled the heavyweight division since Lennox Lewis. With Lewis, we went straight into the Klitschko era, juggled it between Vitaly and Vlad, and then, of course, Fury relieved Vlad back in 2015. It really drummed in this idea that unless you're a really big guy who knows how to control the distance and then lock you down in clinches, you're not going to be able to deal with them. They'll just shut everything down and you're too small. But that was dependent. That whole theory was underpinned with there not being any exceptional smaller heavyweights. You have to be that good, but they do exist every now and again. And it looks like Alexander Usyk could be one of them. The likes of Jack Dempsey, Rocky Marciano, Joe Frazier and Mike Tyson, even though Dempsey wasn't actually that small for his time, all these guys knew how to take down giants. Because they ticked so many boxes, because they were so good in so many ways. David Haye wasn't rugged enough. Alexander Povetkin was a bit too stumpy, not dynamic enough. Alexander Usyk seems to have, possibly, enough of those goods to take down the giants. I suspect Tyson Fury would be the slight favourite, but most people will be looking at it as a very intriguing heavyweight fight for all the marbles. If a little bit of magic happens, and we do indeed end up getting the fight for December 17th, then that would turn a subpar year of boxing into a pretty darn good one.